myself. So this, and it may or may not show up in the Facebook group. I'm not quite sure yet. So in a private group. So one, I want to thank you guys for jumping on and learning more about this. And I decided that I would do a series of live conversations. One, the material will probably be a little different based on people's questions and experience with the topic that I wanted to talk about. And first of all, can you guys, is some of this new information, the conversation of bank code, the personality bank code or Codebreaker, or are some of you familiar with it? So Nancy, this is new for you. Robin, you know, right? Yes. Okay. Janet?
No, it's all new for me.
Perfect. Oh, there was my dear friend Charlene and others. Okay, good. So I'm going to start at the very beginning, the basics for you guys, and give you a little history of how I got to this place. First of all, is everybody national marketing directors, or is there people that are sales coordinators? Diane Gears, I'm not quite sure of everyone, and that's fine, because my last call, all 12 people were sales coordinators. Isn't that cool? But I only told the national marketing director, so they knew about it and they wanted their teams to know about it. Made me feel good that they trusted me enough to know that I was going to look after their peeps, right? So that's where my heart is, absolutely. And so let me introduce myself. My name's Sharon Hyde. I've been a national marketing director for about 8 years with the Juice Plus company for 18 years. I'm very loyal to the Juice Plus company, and my heart is about helping all of us. I'm definitely one team, one mission type of person. I'm just being out there real authentic with you guys. And just if you guys come on, try to mute yourselves since I am making a recording, but we'll open it up for questions. And so, and I'll touch a little bit of this when I go through the story, but as you know, as we're in the business, right, of inspiring healthy living, we're sharing tools and tips. And at the end of the day, we really are building a paycheck so that we can live life on our own terms, and we can provide for our families, but we can also be doing this in a way that feels good, that helps people buy the product. So I just really want to address that we really are in sales, even though we are sharing and gifting and inspiring. And with that, we want systems that are very duplicatable. We want to not recreate the wheel. And in my journey as a leader, we also hear things that we're in this business is a personal growth development course, disguised as a business. One of the things is that is also very challenging as we develop team to be in charge of other people's personal growth and communications. And that's one area that I was lacking certain skills into helping empower, and different little situations were arising on my team that were, I was going to say, causing some conflict or some miscommunication or some misunderstanding. And all distractions are equal. It doesn't matter what the distraction is. It's going to affect the quality of how we all connect. It affects our vision, our goal, and so forth. And that's where I was at 5-6 years ago. I was new into being a national marketing director, stepping into a leadership role. And I knew something was awfully hard. And there were certain things that I was not, which I'll go into, that, conceptually I was not in alignment with, but I didn't have an answer for it. So I'm going to show you that, and I'll give you a little history. So I came across this methodology at a personal growth seminar. I think it was Peak Potentials. And when Sherry Tree came onto the stage, which I'll give you a little bit of her bio, because I do have some PowerPoint slides I can share with you. When I met her, she started talking and sharing the slides that I want to share with you today. And I got to tell you, it was, for me, sitting there, it was the biggest aha of my life. Like, oh my God, I had talked to Jeff Roberti, I talked to Gordon Hester, I talked to Tanya Oxley, I talked to all of these people to try to help me solve this problem. And I was getting things like, well, say next, get more cows, keep on going, say goodbye, and all of these things that just didn't feel really authentic to me, because I loved these people that were in my life, and we just had a breakdown in our communication. And I didn't want a next on these people. And they didn't want a next on me, right? Because maybe I was the problem, right? Could have been. And so I want to share a little bit about this. Now, she trained this methodology. She's developed this over a number of years, and it has evolved, and it's at the next stage of evolution. And this is why this is information pretty much only. Right now, she has some tools coming to the market, which I will tell you about, but they're not ready yet. And so I have a backup plan for us so that you can gain in your education and see if it's a fit for you. First of all, I'm going to change to my slides now, and then I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to share the whole thing so you can see that you can kind of see my whole thing there, and that's fine. So the title of it is Why They Buy. So that is Sherry's branding, Why They Buy. Why do customers buy? How can we close the sale? And what is a system or methodology that she has to get this done? And so I want to share with you my why I am doing this for my Juice Plus community, and why am I doing this? First of all, I really think that it's a great system that we can duplicate in our team. It does not need to be overcomplicated, except you could complicate it if you wanted to. So for those that love complicated things, you can just go with it. For those that want short and sweet, it's there. The goal is to create more success. I love it in my team. I've been teaching it in my team. And the goal is to help us just be more successful as an entire company, to help us build stronger relationships within our families, within our community, and within our company. And this is new information. It was brand new information for me. It was like, whoa, I didn't know that this was here. Now I'm going to make some disclaimers that there was always some confusion. This is not a network marketing company. So it's not. So I am a licensed certified trainer. I paid thousands of dollars for it, went through all of the courses. I've been 5 years now. I just renewed the license, which is thousands of dollars for me to be able to teach this in classrooms, online, in person, on main stages. Okay, so I do offer my training and services to my non-Juice Plus people, to the public, for a fee. So you may see me on social media, you may see me on stages, you may see me doing that. Just like a doctor doesn't close their whole office down, they treat everybody and they work with everybody. I think that that's important. However, I created this special format for my Juice Plus family only. And what I'm going to offer is a private Facebook group where we can all be together as a collective community. And then what I ask in return is, at some point, you might decide, yeah, I want to do her subscription, or I might want to get her book, or I might want to get some of those little tools, or wow, this would be great for Uncle Billy, whatever. Perhaps send me some referrals, or keep me in mind when it comes to, I want to do the subscription at some point a year from now. Then keep me in mind. Just pay it forward in that way. So for now, that's really what's in it for me, is for all of us to be on the same page, to look after you and your teams, to make sure you're not in a funnel that would not be in your best interest. So my heart is about keeping us together, and our entire focus is only on duplicating this for Juice Plus. Okay, and so let's jump in. And so I want to talk a little bit about sales. So according to Salesforce.com, they're saying that 67% of entrepreneurs in their research they did miss their quota, miss their goals. So that could be for our team. Our teams, might have a goal to have a 5-1 at the end of the month. Every month I'm going to have a 5-1, and that's my goal. Well, a law of averages, over 67% of the people miss that goal. And a lot of times, it is because they're not adequately prepared or have belief in themselves and things. So this is what we want to help give them some tools. Also, 87% of people that were polled did not feel adequately prepared for presentations, 3-way calls, connecting with people, And, you know, that's huge when you talk about somebody not feeling prepared to handle what's going to be in the other end of their presentation. Now, which I found really interesting is 66% of people feel turned off by most people's presentations. So it means that somehow we're not making a connection. And frankly, these are just really high numbers, but now this is across all of sales communities, not doesn't relate to say per se us in Juice Plus. Now, Robert Kiyosaki, if you're not familiar with him, I read his book. Oh my goodness, my sponsor gave me that book probably in the beginning of my journey, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he said the ability to sell is the #1 skill in business. And believe it or not, he was one of the reasons why I even decided to have a Juice Plus franchise and see the bigger picture, because of the residual income piece. But in order to have residual income, we have got to be able to get more Juice Plus products and teams out into the marketplace, so to speak. Now, this is one of those things that I struggled with. And I remember being at one of our leadership meetings, and they actually the company flew in the speakers, and some of you guys are probably there. We got to listen to the Go for No speech, and we got the book, and, you know, we try to rally around, go for no, count those no's. That's so exciting because you're closer to a yes. And I just really, I personally struggled with that, because if my thoughts create my reality, why am I getting excited about the things that I don't really want in my life? So it was kind of a mixed message for me, and I really struggled with it. And we also get into sales as a number game, right? And that's when, you know, I actually wrote down some statistics. I wanted to make sure I had it right. So if we say, you know, what numbers we hear in Juice Plus are, you know, you have to talk to 10 people to get 1 or 2 customers, right? You have to have 10 customers to get 1 or 2 distributors. And you have to have at least 10 or so distributors to get 1 superstar. So that was just something like I had always heard. And, you know, so we just got to keep going, keep the funnel full, like let's keep this going. But what happens is if you step back and you look at that, you need to talk to 50 to 100 people in order to get 10 customers. You have to have 100 customers to have really 10 good distributors. And then you have to have 50 to 100 distributors to find a handful of superstars. And it's a lot of people. So what happens in the process is we feel, I mean, I actually had a team member say she felt demoralized. That she couldn't handle the rejection or the no, or just not feeling valued because of it. Was like, no, I'll wait and see, and just that rejection. So that's when I was sitting in the audience and Sherry Tree was sharing the slide. I was like, yeah, you know, what is the answer? And it came to, and she said, all we need to do is go for more yes. So if we want more yeses, we need to go for more yeses instead of more no's. Well, yeah, but how is that done? And that's what she began to teach us, that there was a secret behind it. And she named it bank code. So in the regular marketplace now, it's called bank code. But for the network marketing industry, shortly, next month in September, it's coming out with a new name that is for the network marketing community. And so what we really are is that sales, and you guys know this, right? We're in the people business. We're mission driven. We're people focused. We're about building those relationships. But even across all of sales, really, it's about people. It's about connecting with people. And when we do trainings and things, we talk about building our business on social media, right, through TMZ. It's about make someone's day, connect to people. It's all about the game of people connecting, not counting no's, okay? It is not about focusing on, yay, I got another no, I'm so much closer. Just please drop that story, and let's reframe this to, it's how can we better connect with people? How can we make people stay? Because Brian Tracy says all business is about people. At the end of the day, no matter where you are, it is about solving a problem from somebody, helping them make a decision that's best for them, and paying it forward. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, but the question is it possible for one idea to completely change everything? And when I started taking a look at this, it has been an absolute game changer. And what I will tell you is now that I know, it's like having a new set of glasses on and I see things differently, and it's exciting because I can share that with my team. What Sherry came up with was a personality-based, people-focused, profit-driven system, a methodology, a training, files you can put in your brain to have a different presentation, different way to communicate. She wrote everything and she put it in a book, and the book is called Why They Buy. If you're interested in the book, the most least expensive way to get it is because I'm a licensed trainer, I can get it to you for $10 for the digital. Otherwise, Sherry charges $20. Her hardcover on her page, I think, is $45, and I think it's almost $100 on Amazon. It's crazy. But the book, a lot of the material for you to read, for your team, is in this book, Why They Buy. Now, I would be happy to provide hardcover books, but I think they're $27 for me to buy at wholesale. Okay, so I haven't like ponied up on that. I just not, don't want to get into that business just yet. So I made the digital available. Now, Sherry Tree is the founder. She is the chairman now. They just brought on a new CEO, and she's an author. She has a 20-year track record with using this. It's in 40 different countries. There's about 150 licensed trainers out there working. We get contracts for different businesses and corporations to, whether it's a real estate company, a life insurance company, goodness, I think there's an airline now that wants this in it. So it's a pretty amazing program. So what she experienced, I'm giving you cliff notes on this because I want to honor our time and I want to open up for questions. In a nutshell, Sherry started out, she was in a network marketing business selling financial services. And she was a student and she was learning and working really hard. The first year she made $700. And she's like, dang, this is rough. Now, she continued her journey for 5 years. She did all the Super Saturdays. She did all of the seminars. She did all of the work. She got herself to where she's making $72,000 a year. So that wasn't that bad because we're probably going back 10 years ago. So, that was pretty good. But she had $30,000 in debt for all the courses that she had been taking to get there. And over the time, she started, having some epiphanies and started realizing that she would have better results doing different things. And she started developing this personality-based series. Now, this is not based on psychology, it's based on people's values. So she started understanding that she could close more sales based on understanding what the person valued, and she developed it. When she did, her sales jumped up 695%. And then within the next 3 years, she became $1 million earner and was in all the home network marketing, home magazines, and so forth. And so this is her here. She got invited to speak around the world, and that is when I met her. She was really on the circuit, training and teaching and selling this product is what she did. She teamed up with Robert Kiyosaki, Sir Richard Branson, and this particular methodology that I'm going to show you in a second, she taught at Harvard for a business class, a master's class there. The University of California, Berkeley also had her teach there. She has 2 white papers. The first one was in 2016 showing that this was original work, that it actually works and it's credited. So I know for us in the Juice Plus community, science is really important. The second white paper was just published 2 weeks ago, and it's using this methodology in the network marketing industry and how it actually increased sales. So I thought that was really exciting, and we do have access to that paper so you can read it. And Albert Einstein says, any fool can complicate things. It takes a genius to simplify them. So think about how easily we overcomplicate things. Look how many times, we get our handbooks and our mission-driven models and our things, and it just gets so complicated. We've just got to keep whittling down to the basics. And so let me tell you a little bit about the science behind the bank and what it looks like. So it's really about a personality science. Now, I know that we've seen a lot of these different kind of personality things on the marketplace because it's not original. This concept came from Hippocrates in 400 BC. Now, we know Hippocrates because we say, let food be thy medicine, right? So we think, oh, Hippocrates is so brilliant. He wants us to let food be thy medicine. He was also brilliant enough to understand that people had different temperaments and that he needed to handle them differently if he wanted to help them get well. So he was just such a brilliant, brilliant person. And so based on that, we see our disc, our animal thing. I remember even in Q school, we did a little test where we learn about ourselves, and we as human beings love learning about ourselves. Okay, so this is really, great, but how do we, the missing link was, how do we know about the person who's in front of us? So when I'm talking to Charlene, who's here, when I'm talking to Janet, or when I'm talking to Nyla, how do I know who they are so I can communicate with them? Because I know who I am. So that was one of the missing links. So when she came up with the acronym BANK, and I'll explain that. And she came up with this little thing called the cryptex. So she's kind of, if you remember the movie, The Da Vinci Code. So this is how she explains it. Inside this cryptex is this message for the Holy Grail in the movie. And the whole movie plot was about finding out the code to open it so you could open it to get that secret. And so at any given point, if they put in the wrong code, there was a vial of vinegar in there and it would break. If you had the right code, the scroll would open and you could have the Holy Grail there. However, if you said the wrong thing, the vial of vinegar would snap and everything would happen. It would dissolve and it would break. So think about those 3-way calls that went wrong. They were going good, and then all of a sudden, something went wrong. What happened? You're closing the sale, you're having a home party, and you're talking, and your people are all excited, let me get started, and at some point they go, let me ask my husband, oh, I don't really have kind of the money right now, let me get back to you. See, something's happening where that vinegar is affecting our sales and our communication. And I think you're going to have some ahas when I share some of this for you. So Tony Robbins, who is really a very reputable, recognized trainer and mentor, he said, let your prospect determine the presentation. Let the person I'm talking to determine that presentation. So each of us, if there's 4 different temperaments, 4 different personalities, then we need to have 4 different presentations. So here's our presentations. We'd have a blueprint presentation, which I'm going to go into, an action presentation, a nurture presentation, and a knowledge presentation. So say, for example, I'm a nurture. So I'm just going to say I am a nurture. So I will use myself as an example. So I naturally speak my way, nurture. And a lot of us here on the call are that way. However, if I'm talking to an action person or a blueprint person, and I'm using my languaging, I could be miscommunicating with them. And a great way to explain this too is, say blueprint would be English. Action would be Chinese. Nurture would be German. And knowledge would be Russian. Well, I might be speaking English as a blueprint, and these people might be nodding their heads, but the German, the Russian, and the Chinese person really are not completely understanding what I'm saying. They might be polite and smile, and they go, yeah, I get back to you. So there's a miscommunication that is happening in the process. And so what happens is, if we're only speaking our own code and we're kind of oblivious to who's in front of us, this is where we get the numbers game, right? 1 and 4. 1 and 4 are going to buy. Only one 1 out of 4 is probably going to be our code, so we'll close that. The rest of the people we push off to our competition, and we're not closing those sales. So what Sherry says, you know, and taught, and through the methodology we teach, that if we learn to speak all 4 of them, that we make a connection to all 4 personality types, then we have a higher probability of closing 4 out of 4 sales, or 3 out of 4 conversations and presentations. So let's talk about, what does the system look like? So what does the system that she teaches look like? And so we're going to start with the blueprint. We're going to go to the action. We're going to go to the nurture, and we're going to go to the knowledge. Again, I'm just giving you super cliff notes. I mean, Sherry has days of courses. I mean, I just did a 10-day course of power scripting, how to write in this, and so forth. So there's a lot of knowledge, but please know I'm giving you the drive-by, but there's enough. You should have some ahas to be able to ask questions and perhaps want to learn more. So our blueprint people, we think of them as they're in the box. They like to be in the box. They like to follow rules. We like the blue, the color blue, because they, you know, kind of like the blueprints, the drawings. They're the people that are the architects that build the homes. They, you know, they pay attention to the systematic details of things. They have very specific values. Okay, these are values, not psychology. Please know there's a huge difference. They value is stability. Okay, they really want things to be very stable. Structure is really, really important. Structure within our business, so that we have a very stable business, you know, 50 plus years, strong leadership. We have great structure. You know, what does the structure of our business? Think come January, everyone's going to even be more excited about the structure getting stronger on things. We have some systems. We have great systems. The blueprints need systems. They need checklists. They need manuals. They don't need it to be complicated. They need it to be sequential. It's really, really important to the process. They do like processes, step 1, step 2, step 3. They definitely, predictability is really important to them, especially when we're in this AI transition and things, you know, the office might be down for a weekend. See, this could be something that if you had a blueprint in your organization, taking that time to reach out to them to make sure you got this, that this system is stable, that we're just upgrading, you know, and give them some reassurance is really important to know who you need to do that with. Responsibility is really important, that you or I as a leader do what we're supposed to do, and everybody is very responsible for that. Sense of duty and following the rules. They follow the rules. Rules aren't to be broken. These are the rules. We're going to follow the rules, and it's very systematic. And when the rules are broken, it's kind of difficult for them. Credentials are really important. You've earned the right of your title within the company, that you also, you know, when we address to our various doctors, that we really do include that, because they've earned those rights, and the initials in their names too. And sometimes we become so much like a family that I'm guilty of this myself, getting a little too casual. But when we're introducing people a little bit more, edifying each other, a little bit more blueprint style, it will go a long way in our organization. And of course, our titles and traditions. Traditions as our company, and traditions we have within our team and our team culture. Really, really important. Now, blueprints are going to be really, really good customers of ours. They're a little bit more hesitant to be their first code to be in the network marketing industry. There's going to be another code that's kind of just as strong too. They really like guarantees. Okay, so when you're talking to them as our clients or sharing the product, you really want to show them that we have a money back guarantee with our product. That's so important, that there's no risk in being part of our community. They're also going to want to know that you're going to follow up with the auto shipments, that a shipment's not going to go out. They're going to want to have control of their office when they go in, and they have control of knowing when their orders are coming. So these are really important things to a blueprint, and you could easily miscommunicate. Now, one of the other things that's really important for a blueprint is that they're never on time. They're always early. They are early. So sometimes 15 minutes to an appointment. So if you're meeting a blueprint at Starbucks for a meeting to talk about your business and you're another code that tends to run late, you will destroy the sale because they're not as flexible to the influx of the schedule changing without being told. And Sherry has some, I say horrific stories, because she lost these huge deals worth thousands of dollars simply because she was late and she did not call ahead. And the man said to her, "Stop, I no longer want to do business with you. You didn't honor me before you had your money. I can't imagine how you're going to value me after you have my money." So, you know, that was one of the learning curves that she had. So just keep that in mind. And there's other things that go along with this. Blueprints actually have certain clothes that they wear, certain colors they gravitate towards, ways they decorate their office. It's fascinating to do a deep dive into this, which I do plan on sharing, and she does a lot in her book. Now, the next part is our action people. Okay, these are our movers, our shakers, our millionaire makers. You see they're rocketing out of the box. See, there's a microphone here. They like to be center of attention. They like to be, look at me, I'm here, let's get things done. They tend to be a little bit more ADD, kind of like all over the place, like, oh yeah, that's a great idea, and overcommit. And because of that, they tend to be a little late. And fun is a really big deal. Now, for those of us who are NMDs that have been here for a while or been with the company for a while, we saw the UK explosion. They primarily spoke action code. Okay, so that was primarily what their code was. And that's how quickly a business can grow when you've tapped into the action languaging. Okay, now creating stability is you can bring some of those other codes in there too, so it doesn't have to topple. So action code is a great code. They want to come to conference. They want to have a really good time. They love the music. They love meeting the other celebrities. They stand in line to meet the doctors, and even dressing to impress is really important to them. Being on the team that is moving and shaking and making things happen. They want to grow quickly. And sometimes it's disappointing, but we'll see someone come into our business, they'll grow really quickly, and then bam, they're off to another opportunity. That is one of those things that can happen. However, by learning how to speak bank code to them, you can easily head that off and meet them and not have a miscommunication where they feel they need to fly off to another opportunity. So what I want to teach you is ways that you don't have to have the forest burned down, because they're amazing. And my second code is action. And so they like freedom, flexibility. You know, we think about when we say own your life, right? We're doing lingoing that's own your life, have a life, live life on your own terms. See, this is all action languaging. They love opportunities. They love network marketing. They love the excitement of the bonuses that come out. They love the attention of winning. They love when you celebrate them on the team page, that they have healthy competitions and contests because they love to win it. Imaging is really important. And again, all codes are important, all of them, and that one's less than the other. And so you might be saying, oh, there's a little of this in me and a little of that in me. So the action code is where we also see in Canada and Australia, they speak a little bit more of the action code in the network marketing in Juice Plus than we do. So we're a little weaker in our languaging for the action. And I think together we can collaborate and change that to attract more, because they're definitely the ones that get things done and you want them on your team. And this is my primary code, and a lot of us here. is our nurture. And nurture notice how it's yellow and sunny and warm. You almost hear the song Kumbaya, and we recycle the box. And here are some of our values. We value relationship currency, authenticity, personal growth, right? We always want to be a better version of ourselves because we really want to leave an impact in the world. We want to live a life of significance. Teamwork, all of us working together is really, really super important. And having some involvement, right? Charities, harmony, morality, contribution. So think about our company. So this is the first major languaging of our company. So companies can have languaging. And this primarily is our languaging, right? We're mission-driven company. We're one team, one mission. We're very team community driven. We're very charity driven. Nothing wrong with this, okay? Nothing wrong with it. It's a wonderful, wonderful code because it's mine and I love it. But this code is not considered a money code. It is, they tend to be a little bit more broker because they put more emphasis on relationship currency. Okay, and here the irony of it is really truly me doing this Juice Plus event for you right now is me being in my nurture. This is me. This was my relationship currency. This is me looking after, and I see that I'm thrilled that Nyla's here. Nyla was my brave leaders person. See, so it's a way that I can give back. Okay, and so that's wonderful. But at the end of the day, that doesn't close the sale for me, but we make connection. This code by itself, okay? This code teamed up with the action now. Now that's a great little combination. Okay, so just think about that. Now, here's the second code of the Juice Plus community, which is knowledge. So the knowledge code is they engineer the box. The color green is because of Excel spreadsheets and science and knowledge. And this was predominantly, again, another reason why people choose the Juice Plus company is because of we love the learning. We love the self-mastery that we can get. We love the science behind the product that we're sharing with other people. There's a lot of expertise. It's very competent. They're very accurate. They're looking at the big picture, changing, the planet with this. Even look what Tower Garden is doing and what Stephen Ritz is doing, right? So, it's really, really important code for us in the Juice Plus community. So we primarily speak knowledge nurture. Now, here's the second thing to keep in mind is one of the things with the knowledge people is you cannot close a knowledge person. A knowledge person will always want more information. So what you say is, what else can I get for you to help you make a decision, right? Eric Worre teaches us that. But the reason why we're doing it is they can't make a decision until they get more information. A lot of analysis of paralysis happens. And once they close themselves, they're all on board. But what happens is they want to share the information with somebody else. And if you're primarily a knowledge person, you're going to speak that knowledge. And if you run into an action person, you just are like totally techno-babbling all sorts of stuff all over somebody. And they're like, get away from me. It's too complicated. I don't need to take a test. Like, what's it going to do for me? So that's where some miscommunication and some challenges have surfaced that I've kind of identified. And one of the examples that I did have on my team is I love both of these ladies dearly, dearly. They're so fun and they're such great bank students. One is high K. I'll ask her, I won't even ask a question. I might make a statement. She will send me 3 or 4 articles and things and check out this. She knows what's going on in the Juice Plus community. She is amazing. Okay, amazing. But she sponsored someone who is high action to the point that you would think of Tigger, like and I can't even pin her down to get her in the car, to get her to an event. She's all over the place. So once she got inundated with material, she shut down. She actually called me and said, Sharon, I don't think I can do this business. I don't need to take a test on this material. You guys aren't any fun whatsoever. And I was like, whoa, time out, miscommunication here. Okay, guys, let's have like a bank powwow. And I was able to talk to both of them like, you know, this is what we need to provide for your downline. We need less information. And, you know, in the ability to control, I know you want to educate and you're super smart, but she doesn't, she just wants to know what's in it for her, how she can have some fun, and how she can make some money. And so that was a huge fire that I was able to put out. Now, I might have touched on these things here, and I want you to think about what was your primary bank code that, like I told you, I was primarily nurture. And so think about for a moment, what were you primarily? You know, go, oh, yeah, I'm totally that blueprint, or I'm totally that action, or I'm totally that nurture at knowledge. So think about that for a moment and you might know. I'll have to, haven't looked at my question chat, the chat. Let me just see. What is K? Did I not take, what is K? K is knowledge, I think. I think that's what you're asking. Oh, sorry, I gotta close the chat because you got, there you go. Okay, so I think the knowledge person is, I think that threw me off, but anyways, let me go back to this. So what you're noticing now is that you're a little bit of everything, right? So we all have, I'm primarily knowledge. Right behind that is my action person, because I do love entrepreneurialism. I love marketing. I love having fun. I love all of that. I love the science. I love to learn. So I have that K person, and blueprint is my weakest code, which is the systems. But I love people who can do that because I can give them my stuff and they can proofread it and just tell me where all my mistakes are. And so, you know, what happens is that now we have, instead of 4 presentations, we might have to need 24 presentations. So that can get a little confusing. So what Sherry came up with when she gained all those sales, and this is something that you could do, is she came up with a game. She came up with these cards, and she put these values on these plastic cards. And so very easily when I meet for somebody, so we did this in several places. We put these values on a card, on a sheet when people sign in for our event. We have them just go code it like, what is your 1, 2, 3, 4, or value, or what I might do is a quick demo. I might, when I'm meeting somebody for coffee and I have the codes and I'm in Starbucks, I'll be, you know, I'll just use Janet because she's on the top of my screen here. And it's like, oh my goodness, Janet, thank you so much for meeting me at Starbucks for coffee. Let me go get you something. I have a fun little icebreaker. I have something I'd love for you to do for me. If you could please sort these cards for me from top to bottom, from what you value the most to what you value the least. It will help me get to know you better, and it'll save us both some time. And, or I can, you know, and she was like, oh, okay. So she's looking at it, and, you know, she might hand it back to me like, blueprint knowledge. Let's see, there I am. Blueprint knowledge action. So what she's doing is she's telling me that she's primarily values structure, stability, predictability. So when I come back and I look at it, I'm just like, oh my goodness, Janet, thank you so much for doing that. Oh my goodness, you are just like my son. That is so cool. I know exactly how I could be of value to you, how I could offer my services. Thank you so much. I said, and then we just kind of go into it. I don't need to give her an explanation, but she told me how to proceed with the presentation in that short second. There's no quiz, just would you sort these cards for me? And so what if Janet gave me action, nurture, blueprint, knowledge? Okay. I am not starting out the presentation on how wonderful the science of Juice Plus is with 40 peer reviewed and blah, blah, blah. Because she told me she wants what's in it for me. How can you have a lot of fun? You know, what's this product going to do for my hair, my skin, my nails? Am I going to lose any weight? You know, I mean, just that type of thing, the image. Or what's the bonus money look like? What's the fastest way to me to get there? And what kind of contest you have? Where if it's nurture, it would be a little bit more of, we've got a great community here of people working and helping each other. Based on the second code, I would combine it. You know, we have a great community that help you, you know, achieve success. We have a lot of fun together. We have charities, you know, our mission statement of the company, you know, that type of thing. So you immediately know how to connect and have rapport. All of it's authentic. Everything that we share is authentic. It's just a matter of how do we sort it so that we can establish a better rapport with them. So I hope that that is helpful. I skipped some of these slides because it's really not necessary. Okay, this is not yet, please do not buy this. The Sherry has technology, so these cards are online as bank code right now. Come in 2 weeks. She's still working on the pricing. I'm on the committee to help her with that. So trust me, I will keep you posted. Do not do the bank code subscription. She's going to have a new company called Codebreaker. It'll be different. There'll be no secondary funnels. There'll be no trainer opportunities or affiliate. It'll be totally pure, just this training for network marketing companies. So please don't buy anything yet. It's not on the market yet. So but with it coming, could you imagine having this, sending somebody a link and they play the game and they get a free report on themselves, and you also have a tool in the back office that shows you a little bit about what their code is. It's an incredible tool, but I'll do that demo at another time. Once I like to vet things out, my reputation's on the line, and bank code, as it is on the marketplace right now, has an affiliate program attached, and it's just not, it's not appropriate for us to use in our industry. And so I don't use it. You know, I love it, but I don't use it right now because of that piece. So the new one's coming. Hope I gave enough disclaimer. And I met him early on. He goes, he's so cool, Les Brown. And it's really this, understanding this methodology and how it works is a game changer in my business. It was a total game changer. So moving forward, and I told you not to do the technology, the other technology piece that's coming out, oh, it's so cool. So cool. I will put a demo of this in the Facebook group. There, and you read it, it's in Forbes magazine. They did an article on it. Microsoft and Google are clumping at being partners with it. She developed this methodology in artificial intelligence and AI that can be used in a back office, in a virtual office. So I've reached out to Jay, to Janet Black, to Sean, and everyone, because as we're redoing our office, I just think it would be so phenomenal to have some of this incorporated into our back office. You will see Bank presented at the conference in Canada. It's going to be on the stage in Canada. The United States is a little slower to move, and some other national marketing directors are launching it to their teams. And so to keep everybody non-distracted, I'm really inviting you to join a Facebook group that's Intro to Juice Plus Bank. It's a private group where we can be there. I monitor it. There's no spamming. There's not going to be, it's going to be a safe place for your team. I'm going to upload tools. If we bankify, well, I'm jumping ahead. Hang on. I'm going to come back to that. You can get the digital book, Why They Buy, there for $10. There's a link. You can also purchase these cards. I think they're $20. Sherry charges us, which is fine. It's her business. I'm fine with that. So you can get a card for these, and I will mail them out to you, because we put together a special book for her with instructions in that. There's going to be future trainings and demonstrations all within this private Facebook group for Juice Plus people only. And so I'm going to stop, take a snapshot of this if you want to, and I am going to get a URL, by the way, for that to make it easier, and I'll put it out so you can join the Facebook group very easily. And I think that is my last slide, because I'm going to talk to you non-sharing. So take your picture. Oh, Is that too late? If not, I'll put it up there. Okay. So with this new AI that's coming out, this is what my vision is we working as a community. Think about taking our Freedom Revolution scripts, running it through the AI. And the artificial intelligence will say, you're heavy on the knowledge, or you're heavy on the nurture, or you're heavy on the action, you're too hypey. And you can bankify it where we speak to everybody in 1 or 2 presentations. So we don't have to have master's degrees in this, but we definitely have to have some information on how it works, especially with us as national marketing directors and leaders. We're doing 3-way calls. But the moment we can find out who we're talking to, right? Who's that other person on the other line? We instantly can address how we communicate and invite them to join our mission and our community. If somebody is an action blueprint, first code, they don't care about our mission. I don't mean that like they don't care, but that they want to make money, they want to have a business, they want an opportunity to be the CEO of their own company. And when we know that, then we know not to throw the vinegar on that presentation, but we can really talk about the stable business. We have our Zooms on every Thursday, or every Tuesday night we have an opportunity to help you build your business. We have a team call on this day, so they understand that there's a structure and a system for their success. So I'm hoping that this makes sense to you. But I'm so excited about taking the tools we already have, running it through the AI, but I'm only going to put them in the Facebook group, because I want Juice Plus corporate to say, come on in. And then, I don't want to be the one that's redoing. I'm not saying that properly. I'm honoring the chain of command and the respect of Janet and Sean and them. So for us to play, we can kind of work on our verbiage, but I don't want something to say, oh, this is officially the new script, because I think that that's the place of corporate to do, if that makes sense. Now, not everybody has the same idea, and that's okay. You can do what you like with it. I just want to make sure that I am honoring the chain of command and the conversation. So if you like what you're seeing, if you like it, share with them to take a deeper look. So, and now come next week, I just don't want to do it yet. Because the bank code site market, the product that's in the marketplace right now, has an affiliate and a trainer opportunity attached, and I don't want you there. Or if I gave you that link and you went there, you can't keep sharing it to use your business, because I don't want there to be a mixed message. So moving forward, if the link I give you, I just don't want there to be any back office marketing that happens to you. Hopefully that makes sense. And so that's why there's a delay. But what could you do right now? Join the Facebook group. There's several presentations in there. Start reading her book. It's amazing. There's so much in it about the likes, how to close the sales. There's so many tools. And I do plan on putting a lot more value into the Facebook group. For the last month or so, I've been kind of in a holding pattern, because I wanted to make sure what was coming out. I had a call with the president of Codebreaker just to clarify, like, what is things? And so I'm going to be on his committee to help with the pricing, to help roll out a product for the network marketing that would hopefully be affordable. I can't control it, but I can give you what I have. And when or if you ever decide to do it, just remember that I'm doing this for you, and that if you're going to do it, just maybe send me referrals. That's what would be in it for me. My team has, Lizzie, what are some of the stories my team has had? 5 years ago, when I was in that audience and my team was imploding. There was conflict, misunderstandings. There was a little bit of a high school mentality. Can you believe she said that? I can't believe she said that. All that was going on. It was just miscommunication. Now, brave leaders helped tremendously. Okay, brave leaders helped. But bank helped me communicate better, and it helped give me a tool that I could help each team member to give each other grace, to give each other empathy. Like somebody who's always late, all of a sudden you go, oh, that's why she's like Tigger and I can't pin her down, and she's texting during the prevention plus, and she's like doing all of this multitasking stuff. Okay, I get it. It's still disrespectful in business, but I understand her internal drive. You know, versus somebody who can't, think about a nurturer who can't ask for money and is giving the product away. Okay, so we get some of that languaging where we can kind of say, okay, I know your nurture is really strong, but oh, look at your second code is blueprint. Let's build that up. And like, you know, so it gives us tools to help us coach our team also better and have some huge compassion and empathy. And I will never forget, it was like having new glasses. Now, with that said, when I watch our presentations and regionals and our Zoom things, I also have new glasses. And I do see things where we kind of do some of the lingo of get more sales, go for now, and all of that lingoing. And so I make a note for myself not to throw anybody under the bus, but those are habits. So I might go into the live and say, hey guys, here's something that is normal to us. Let's reframe this. Let's look at this in a different way, because we can get more yeses. A lot of it is just about learning how to communicate better and coming up with presentations where we could probably, the weakest code we are in the Juice Plus community is action. That's our weakest languaging. Knowledge and nurture is very strong. Blueprints still, you know, we're getting better, right? With the healthy living revolution, the freedom revolution. See, all of that really, really helped. The shred, like those things help. But an area that we could really support one another is adding more action. I think keeping it a lot more fun, because those are the people who really want to make money and have fun and say yes right away. They're the ones that say yes right away, but they're also the first one that will run off to another shiny object if we don't deliver. And so that's really important information for us. So I'm going to open it up to questions. I didn't plan on an hour, but here I am. So I want to open it up. If somebody has a question, and please know I just kind of gave a drive-by. There's so much more. There's so many goodies and juicies. It's just unbelievable. It's so exciting. And I can't wait to share some of the stuff on this journey with you. Does anybody have a question or a comment or? Okay.
I have a question for you, Sharon.
Sure.
I tried to get on the Facebook group and I can't, it won't, it says there's not a page. So that's what I'm trying.
Okay. And you know what, for some people, I know it's so crazy. Now, are you taking that link and pasting it inside your Facebook?
The whole link, I just went to try to put search for intro.
Just take that link. Just take that link.
Oh, the whole thing.
The whole thing, and just do the search and it'll come up. But what I'm going to do is get a URL. It's a new tool I learned. I didn't know you could buy a URL for Facebook groups, but you can. So I'll get a URL just to make it easier for our community. It's kind of evolving, right? But right now, just take that whole link and then put it in the search and see. And if not, message me, Sharon Hyde. I'm on Voxer. Now, if you link on it in Voxer, unless your Voxer is linked to Facebook, it won't connect it. It'll make you want to sign in and jump through all these hoops.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Sharon. I enjoyed it. Very good.
So good. It was a huge aha for me, and it's something that our team members are going to hear from other people. And Eric Worre also is launching this. Do you want him in Eric Worre's funnel, or do you want him in Juice Plus? And that's really where I'm going. You know, I'm definitely a visioneer. I go to things early and I see the potential. I don't want people distracted by any other shiny objects except using these tools to build our community.
Sharon, I really liked it. You did a great job. Lovely communication. Enjoyed your slides. And interestingly enough, I had a clinical psychologist at my home last night, and I said, you know, I really want to close more at my health nights and so forth. And he said, you know, there's 4 types of, you know, introverts and feelers and touchers, and he went through the whole thing. So I'm working on some different language today because I have a health night tomorrow night at my home. And we might say we don't sell, and I think really distributors, partners need to get over that, because product isn't going to move unless we know how to communicate correctly, as you've pointed out, with all the 4 different values and what people respect and relate to. We need to know that, and we can become chameleons and authentic, and we can get more customers so that they in turn and in time turn into more partners. So this was very needed. I really appreciate your timing, your studying, your going out on a limb a little bit, sharing it with all of us, and look forward to some upcoming material. So thank you so much, Sharon.
Thank you, Nyla. And one of the things that I didn't share, which I will, I learned this 5 years ago. I paid thousands, double digits, thousands to learn this and be with it. And I decided not to teach it because at the time, because things weren't ready. Things weren't ready. And in January, it's kind of like a God thing. It started surfacing again. My daughter even said, we need to circle back on that, and looked at it. And then I vetted it. I spent 10 days with Sherry and Esther and the new company and the CEO, and I'm in there, and I did it. And I looked under every rock, every crevice. Is there any bait and switch? Is there anything that's just authentic? And I go, no, it's safe. It's safe to bring it to my tribe, because it is scary, right? It is really scary as far as vulnerability, because I never wanted anybody to think that I was doing something that was out of integrity. So, I wanted to, and so I have vetted this, and that's what I told Janet, but I don't want you guys in the bank. Bank code's beautiful, but it's designed to grow her bank code business, at the end, and so we don't want our reps in that. The Codebreaker funnel, I hate to say Codebreaker business, is completely different. And when they launch it, there'll be trainings in there. Script, oh God, if we could hire Sherry, I'm telling you, she would write our script. She's amazing. She was actually voted one of the top 5 women speakers in the world now. She's amazing. And when I met her, I gotta tell you this other cool stuff. So for her company, the new AI coming out, which I didn't know, I had to Google it. Everybody was so excited about the people that developed this artificial intelligence. It's the people who made IBM Watson. So everybody was like blown away. And I Googled it. I was like, ooh, okay, that's impressive. Okay, she's got some good people. And the doctor who's on her board of directors, is the gentleman who did the stem cell research. And he is the one that is doing the stem cells where people that are paralyzed from the neck down, he's helping them. He's 5 people now. He's helped them gain their mobility back. And so so this is real. Like there's a lot of other smart people saying that they've vetted it as well. So it's not as risky to share with our team.
Thanks, Sharon. I heard about bank code a month or so ago from a woman I met at a networking event. And I was like you, it was like, oh my gosh, this is the missing piece. And my background is in psychology. And I just think it's amazing. So thank you for doing this. And thanks for setting up the Facebook page. I hope that it goes through the Juice Plus community, because while Brene Brown is really wonderful, once you get out there and start talking to people, if you're speaking Japanese to them, they're not going to hear you as well as if you're speaking their same language. So I think this is great.
And it's definitely a rise above the felt type thing, which that's a little bit more, I can't even say it, but it's more of like mirroring, and that's a little bit more manipulative. This is about you, and how can I connect to you, and where can I pull out that blueprint in me, and we can just have rapport based on commonalities.
And I just wanted to say thank you as well. I agree, because if we are truly that mission-driven company that is going to change the world, we have to learn how to talk to people in order to do that. So I agree with everything that's been said here. I'm really excited about this. So I joined the Facebook group already. So
Good.
as soon as you can. No.
Yes. And if you get the book, you can dive right in digital. I'm telling you, it's like when I saw it on Amazon for $100, I was like, oh my God, guys, figure out the iPad, the phone. And then the book is lovely. I got it for Christmas. I mean, it's a beautiful book. The hardcovers, I mean, it's beautiful, but for $10, you could read the digital. And then the cards, I ordered more cards for them, and they're printing them, but I have like 5 or 6. So if you order the cards, as soon as they come in, I will ship them out to you if you want. And if not, just read the book, get some information. The number one thing we can do as leaders is set the example and start those conversations and get them into the community. I promise to keep it a safe place for all of us, for us to share. And I invite you to be part of a mastermind. It's not the Sharon show. And my daughter, she does bank too. She's brilliant. She's 23. Yeah, she's amazing. And she'll be teaching, on the main stages as well. So we have her as an asset, as a young person's perspective too. And so we have the old and the new, the seasoned and the fresh. And
That's better.
she's delight. But this could go viral, and it doesn't have to be expensive, right? Because it's education. And then we could redo some of our scripts and the ways that we do things. And then as we bring people on, it's just going to start getting easier. If you like what you see, I would love for you, and Nyla, I know you have more power than I do, I know Janet and them are super busy, but for some of them, it just looks like another sales tool that's noise. And so if somebody says, would you please take a look at Sharon's email? No, would you please take a look at, it's really important. I mean, because I get it. It's kind of like it's like selling nutritional product, Juice Plus. And then they walk into the vitamin shop and they get overwhelmed and confused. It's just one more thing. It's the same thing, and so we've just got to say, no, I vetted this for you, Janet. I want you to take another look. I love that you guys were here. Join the group, and I will be, right now there's enough things to look at. I will be adding a lot of content shortly. I've just been really waiting to see how things, one, you have the book and you have some other things that you can watch that are in there. And then when the new content starts coming out next week at their launch, then I can say, okay, here's the demo or here's this. But I don't want to tease until I have all the facts. It's kind of like, oh, we're going to have Lyft. Oh, we're not.
Is the Codebreaker thing coming out in early September?
Codebreaker, the new subscriptions are coming out September 3rd. I don't know about Codebreaker. I will know. I'm really in the know with that. So they're meeting this week to decide on pricing. They originally were only going to do Codebreaker for the company itself. Like say it's Juice Plus or doTERRA or whatever. But what's happening is that the field leadership, like ourselves, want it for our team. So they're rethinking that whole thing now. And he said to me, Sharon, what type of pricing do you think would be palatable? And I said something that was comparable to Teamzy. I think that's palatable. And so that's what they're looking at. Could you imagine, like, you're getting ready to do a post on Facebook to create curiosity. You take your little message that you're going to do and you run it through the AI and it tells you like what code you're speaking. And in the software, it tells you how you can change it. It gives you suggestions. You could write letters to people. You're doing your newsletters. It's crazy. So I'll upload a video into the Facebook group so you can kind of see the original demo. It's pretty cool. Okay, have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sharon.
Sharon.